Hi, today we'll be doing a tea tasting of Tea by C's Midnight Mint Herbal Tea. So what you'll need for this tasting is some boiling water, a teacup, your tea, and I'm using a disposable tea bag, but you can use a metal infuser ball or a tea press and that'll work great. With this tea, I like to put a more generous serving size in my vessel. It's a super light tea, so typically we think of the portion of tea that you're putting in terms of weight. So, usually say like 0.1 to 0.2 ounces of tea. Because it's really light, it's gonna look like a bigger volume of tea. So like this container, you can see the size of it. I'm gonna put about half of this in my tea bag. And this is pretty full. So that gives you an idea of how much you want. And I'll show you the tea bag once I get this in there. There we go. Let's get some of those pea flowers. Okay. Yeah, so that's about half. And if you look up at my bag, you can kind of see how much is in there. And then I'll pull the two strings here to close this shut. And then you can pour the hot water over the top of it. Now for a tisane like this, you can't really oversteep it. So, I like to leave it for a couple of minutes. I'd say minimum 1 minute. I like to leave it for 2, even 3. Because this is an herbal tea, there are no true tea leaves in this blend. So what I mean by that is when we talk about tea, a lot of times we use that word to encompass true tea, which comes from a specific plant, and herbal teas, which is a very wide category of, different herbs. A true tea comes from the Camellia sinensis plant. So that's when you're talking about green teas and oolongs, black teas, pu'er, those all come from the same plant and they're just processed in different ways. So it's kind of mind blowing, a green tea and a black tea come from the same place. It's placed from the same plant. It's just the way that it's processed that makes it black versus green. So in this case, we have an herbal blend of peppermint and pea flowers, butterfly pea flowers, which are a really cool flower that turns things blue. So I made this blend because I thought it would be so fun to have a minty tea that was a little bit different and gave off a really beautiful blue color. And yeah, that was kind of the inspiration of this tea. You'll see butterfly pea flowers in some Southeast Asian cuisines. So like if you've been to a Thai restaurant and seen blue rice, they use this flower to turn the rice blue. So it's pretty cool. In terms of flavor, it has a really earthy but kind of subtle flavor. So, the peppermint is very fresh, kind of like eye-opening. And then these flowers kind of bring the tone down a little bit, add a little bit of complexity and a little bit of earthiness, which I think is really nice. I think this is ready. The color looks good. I'll take this out. All right, so let's see if you can kind of tell the color. Ah! Okay, I spilled it. But the color is this kind of blue-green, which is cool. You could probably see it better in a different cup, but this is the cup I'm using right now. Yeah, let's try it. Cheers. Super fresh. First thing that hits me is the mintiness. It's a really nice mint. It's like, it gives you when I breathe in, I get that that minty freshness. And then on, towards the back of my tongue, I can taste the earthiness. It kind of comes through afterwards in the back of my mouth, in the back of my throat. And it just has this really soothing feeling. I love this herbal tea. I think it's a great way to have a little boost of energy without the caffeine that you get in traditional teas. The peppermint gives you that little like wake up feeling. I called it Midnight Mint because I like the idea of this tea being a fuel for late night projects. If you're watching a movie or working on a creative project, I think this is like the companion you need by your side. So you can stay awake but not be up all night on a caffeine high. So really lovely tea, really for any time of year. If you're someone who doesn't love to have caffeine but wants a little, boost in the morning, this is a great option too. So, cheers.